Tahu pun.
Hey guys, tengok background aku punya langsir. Jangan juga buat balik macam sebab dia kena cahaya tu rasanya.
Langsir pun portrait.
Link pun.
Memang tak boleh, memang tak boleh. Good luck. Good luck semua.
Kalau ada tengok tak teks yang Dr. Normala edit tu?
Sekejap. Mana? Sekejap. Oh, sekejap. Puan Husna nak kita apa tu? Lewat sikit tau. Puan Husna ada kan? Takut lama pula tunggu nanti.
Abang nampak kan line aku sangkut-sangkut.
Okey je setakat ni.
Okay.
Ambil Ihsan.
Gelak geng.
Depan maghrib.
Gelak.
Depan maghrib tu aku dah duduk depan laptop.
Thank you Amir. Amir senior kalau tak silap. Ke bukan? Ke junior? BM kan? Bukan BM. BM.
First year.
Bukan Amir Ihsan ni kelas dengan tu ke? Tasha tu ke? Sem 5 Sem 5 sekarang. Sem 6.
Tasha mana
Tasha Nordin.
Oh, Tasha. Pula ah.
Okay, thank you. Sekejap nak buat kahut. Okay, kahut tu kalau sempat lah. Okay, maksudnya 8.20 dia orang masuk kan. So, dalam 5 minit tunggu dia orang masuk. Cetelang kan. Lepas tu dalam 8.25 aku start share pasal IG. Pasal aku share pasal 2 IG lah. KPSP dengan BPSP 1920. Okay, biar ramai followers sikit. And ramai subscriber. Lepas tu pukul apa? Agak-agak 10 minit kot, 15 minit. Kalau korang respon mungkin lambat lah sikit. Tapi aku mungkin dalam two-way communication lah kot. Macam aku tanya dia orang. Lepas tu aku share pasal pemilihan exco. Apa tu? Majlis tertinggi dulu nanti. Kita nak buat kita share dulu borang apa? Google Form tu dulu. Mungkin akhir, tapi dalam bulan ni lah, bulan Jun. And then pemilihan tu kita buat lepas SEM. So nanti kira mungkinlah dia orang boleh nak pilih exco apa tu jadi majlis tertinggi apa kan. Macam tu lah. Share sikit-sikit macam tu.
Aku
maaf mencelah celah sikit. 8.20 sampai 8.30 aku pasal lagu. Lepas tu MC dah boleh briefing lah untuk start program.
Kali aku baru je tadi kali. Aku
8.30 kan? 8.30 aku start bercakap kan?
Lebih kurang macam tu lah.
Okay. Sekejap aku
lagi. Sila.
Nanti 8.30 tu tak macam tak awal sangat ke Bi? Nak cakap. Bi 15 minit je kan? Kalau tak pun akulah yang lirik sikit. Aku lirik sampai 8.30 ke 8.35 ke.
5 minit sikit lah. Macam Suzan baca doa panjang sikit. Okay, 8.35 macam tu ke. So technical lah macam kalau aku rasa aku dah habis boleh lah. Dalam 8.30 tu boleh lah aku slow stop. Ya mak. Siap.
Tak nampak awak di KPSP korang. Laki je nampak. Aku tak pin pun malas. Kau
Mu pakai tudung warna apa kah?
Ha?
Mu pakai tudung warna apa sebenarnya tu?
Tudung warna grey. Aku tak ada tudung hitam lah. Duduk rumah lain.
Pelik pada orang Somong tu.
Ya dah. Bibi punya tudung lah.
Hitam lah.
Kan, Bi?
Pure hitam kot.
Oh, Mun, tu tak boleh kan, Mun? Apa nama background? Tak lepas kan?
Lepas jadi hantu nampak spek gitu.
Aku nak gitu kau. Macam tak tahu lah aku setting macam mana lepas tu.
Tunggu atas.
Dia background langsing aku.
Oh, jap. Kak Lu maksudnya 8.30 tu Kak Lu cakap dulu. Lepas tu 8.35 tu baru Bi cakap.
Okay, macam tak macam 8.20 dia orang masuk. 8.25 Ika cakap. So dalam 8.30 tak pun 8.35 Abi boleh start.
Nanti update dalam WhatsApp boleh?
Okay.
Alright.
Korang buat majlis ni ada subjek ke macam mana?
Bawah kelab KPSP.
Okay lah.
Oh, kelab. Dr. Normala lah yang suruh.
Begitulah. Kita sama. Ya ni jadi ke background wah?
Jadi
Okay.
Wah buat cerah sikit laptop tu. Malah. Buat cerah. Yang brightness. Sekejap.
Baru 20 berlaku.
Assalamualaikum semua. Selamat malam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Buat sementara tu kita akan tunggu lagi lah peserta yang belum masuk dalam lagi 2-3 minit. Lepas tu nanti kami akan mulakan, okey? Alright, so buat sementara tu untuk pengetahuan semua student dalam ni lah, saya bagi sedikit macam mana ya, untuk malam ni saya akan promote dulu pasal KPSP, kemudian nanti akan ada MC, tapi MC dan moderator akan start dalam bahasa Inggeris sebab kita punya tetamu ataupun panel semuanya daripada kita ada dua universiti daripada luar negara, iaitu Arab Saudi dan Indonesia. So bagi saya just nak promote pasal KPSP, so saya berbahasa Melayu dululah untuk bagi jelas dan saya untuk memudahkan komunikasi kita. Okay, ya, saya share screen. Untuk KPSP, kita ada media apa ya, kita guna IG dan juga kita punya YouTube. Kalau untuk sekarang pun kita ada live dekat YouTube. Okay, kalau korang pergi dekat YouTube, korang boleh tulis je. Okay, sekejap. Semua nampak ke saya share screen? Kalau boleh nampak, komen kat chat boleh? Tak apa, unmute cakap boleh nampak. Okay. So untuk pengetahuan semua, YouTube kita telah dibangunkan oleh Exco Technical KPSP tahun 2021, okay. Iaitu Afan dan juga Khalil, dan juga ada beberapa sekolah yang bekerjasama untuk membangunkan KPSP punya YouTube. Tujuan dia adalah untuk kita promote apa saja berkaitan dengan KPSP buat. Okay, contohnya dalam ni kalau boleh tengok ada video-video kami subjek lakaran dan pembuatan model. Ni masa sem 3 dulu. Okay. Sebagaimana semua maklum lah, sebab kita sekarang kan semua online, jadi assignment banyak video, and then dalam masa yang sama bolehlah kita masukkan dalam YouTube dan bagi pendedahan kepada semua orang yang dekat luar berkaitan dengan kita punya course. Lepas tu dekat YouTube ni kalau boleh mohon jasa baik semua untuk subscribe lah. Lepas ni pun akan insyaAllah akan lebih banyak lagi konten yang kami akan buat dan kami akan upload dalam ni, dan kita pun ada live juga dalam ni. Kalau siapa macam terkeluar Zoom ke tak boleh masuk ke, nanti boleh tulis je KPSP UPM, nanti terus ada live tu kat dalam ni. Ni satu untuk YouTube. And then kita ada juga IG kita, ni adalah yang KPSP punya. Yang KPSP ni dibangunkan kalau tak silap saya batch 1 ke macam tu ke? Siapa nama ni? Yani boleh respon tak?
Ya, saya.
Yang buat ni tu kan yang batch awal-awal dulu kan kalau tak silap. Tahun berapa ya?
Tahun sekarang.
Sem 5 Sem 6?
Sem 8.
Sem 8 sekarang yang pergi LI. So diorang yang bangunkan. Kemudian asalnya ni IG diorang lah. Diorang letak gambar-gambar diorang semua. Dan kami minta untuk collab lah. Untuk letakkan apa-apa aktiviti yang ada dekat sini. Dan ni adalah antara AJK, jawatan kuasa KPSP untuk tahun 2021. Dan kita akan update lah semua apa yang kami buat sepanjang setahun. Inilah kita punya program pada hari ini. And then ada satu lagi IG ni dibangunkan oleh Iliani sendiri, untuk batch kami lah. Untuk batch kami pun masukkan juga apa saja gambar kelas kami, apa kita orang punya program, jawatan kuasa. Bolehlah usah-usah, bolehlah orang panggil tu follow sekali. Banyaklah dalam ni. So untuk siapa-siapa yang student Sem 1 tu bolehlah tengok kami apa yang kami buat masa sementara ada dekat UPM masa dan lah kami setahun macam tu lah. Ada camp, macam-macam lah kami buat. Nanti bolehlah start IG KPSP dengan IG BPSP _1920. So untuk Sem ni juga korang pun boleh juga nak buat IG sendiri. Korang letaklah gambar korang semua kan, supaya nanti tujuan nak buat ni pun nak bagi pendedahan lah dekat orang luar, apa yang kita buat, apa course kita buat, apa program kita buat, macam tu. Semua boleh tangkap ke? Kalau ada apa panggil? Kalau tak dapat nama tu ke, bolehlah minta dengan AJK ke untuk follow, untuk subscribe YouTube. Korang nak share konten pun boleh. Bagi je tahu kita orang share kan nanti. Jangan risau. Inilah antara media sosial yang kami bangunkan lah sepanjang setahun ni. And then buat pengetahuan semua BPSP. InsyaAllah dalam akhir sem ni kita akan buat satu pemilihan jawatan kuasa untuk KPSP tahun 21-22. Jadi ni terbuka untuk pelajar tahun 1 lah. Untuk bagi siapa yang berminat, nanti kami akan sebarkan link Google Form, and then kalian bolehlah isi Google Form tersebut, dan interview dia kita akan buat insyaAllah lepas daripada SEM, lepas kita habis exam macam tu. So korang bolehlah prepare apa yang patut. Okay. Nanti kami akan bagi tahu kemudian lah. Macam biasalah kami akan buat pemilihan untuk ubat dulu insyaAllah. Kalau ada apa-apa perubahan nanti kami akan maklumkan balik. Tu untuk pengetahuan sedikit lah bagi pelajar tahun 1. Siapa yang ada kepimpinan, ada orang panggil skill multimedia ke, semua tu memang amat diperlukan. Okay, jangan risau, kami yang exco sekarang pun akan membantu korang, jangan risau. Apa-apa nak buat program ke semua nanti, insyaAllah kita akan sama-sama belajar macam mana nak conductkan satu organisasi kalau bagi siapa yang tak ada pengalaman. Tapi yang ada pengalaman tu insyaAllah lagi bagus lah kan. Okay, itu satu kredit lah untuk kelab. Okay, maksudnya korang dah satu step ke hadapan untuk membangunkan organisasi tu dan lagi orang panggil nanti akan bergerak dengan lebih lancar. Macam tu. So far kalau untuk program KPSP ni taklah terlalu banyak dan tak terlalu sikit. Janji semua orang ada nampak KPSP tu. Wujudnya KPSP maksudnya KPSP tu tak mati, tak senyap. So fakulti pun kenal KPSP macam tu. So kami harap jugalah bagi untuk jawatan kuasa yang akan datang pun boleh membangunkan banyak lagi program. Okay lah, bagi saya tu je lah kot untuk saya. Jadi saya serahkan pada MC pada malam ni. Saya minta maaf kalau saya terlalu banyak membebel, tapi ni just untuk pengetahuan semualah. Apa yang KPSP buat, apa yang KPSP ada, apa yang kami bangunkan. So kalau ada apa-apa teguran atau penambahbaikan, bolehlah korang hubungi ke siapa-siapa je, AJK ataupun Talkboard ke, tak kisah. InsyaAllah kami akan terima je teguran ke, cadangan ke. Okay, itu saja dari saya. Sekian, terima kasih.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin. Please be ready. I would like to see your cooperation to turn off the mic to avoid any interruption during the seminar. Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be the MC for tonight's event. I'm Nurul Izahani binti Abdul Aziz. On behalf of Agricultural Science Education Club from Malaysia, UPM, Cultural Education and Extension Program. I would like to express my gratitude and warm welcome to our guest of honor, Dr. Nurmala Ismail, Coordinator of Agricultural Science Education Program, Faculty of Educational Studies, University Putra Malaysia, UPM, Associate Professor Dr. Abdullah Ma'arashid, Agricultural Lecturer, Faculty of Educational Studies, University Putra Malaysia, UPM, Madam Nurul Husna Abdul Razak, Master of Science in Vocational Education and Training, University Putra Malaysia, Dr. Yahya Al-Tibi, Agricultural Lecturer from King Riyadh University, Dr. Zulham Mahasin, Agricultural Lecturer from Universitas Ihsan Gorontalo, Indonesia. We appreciate you taking your busy schedule to join us today. For your engaged participation of students from King Riyadh University, Saudi Arabia, and Universitas Ihsan Gorontalo, Indonesia. We hope we learn a lot today. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin our program today with the recitation led by Tuan Muhammad Shazwan bin Tuan Mat. Welcome.
Al-Fatihah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم إنك خلاق العظيم إنك سميع عليم إنك غفور رحيم إنك رب العرش العظيم. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of all the world. Blessing and peace be upon the esteemed Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, and those who emulate him until the day of judgment. O Allah, you are the one who has all the praise. You are the one who deserves all the. You are the one who has all the government. In your hands all the virtues. To you return all of us. Allahumma ya Allah. Indeed, we gather today, O Allah, to express our gratitude for your invaluable grace to us. Make us your servants who are always grateful, whether for a small favor, moreover a generous favor to us. Our gathering in webinar discovering the uniqueness of agricultural education and extension program today, we raise our hand to ask for your pleasure on our event and express our gratitude for your infinite bounty to us, which allow us to live in peace and harmony. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, grant us your tawfiq and guidance. Guide us towards success, peace, excellence, and prosperity in our life in this world and in the hereafter. Make us who always obey your command and stay away from all your prohibitions. Forgive us all our sins and make us those who are always in your pleasure. Ya Zal Jalal, from all things that can tarnish us, and from all things that can neglect us from obeying you. To you we leave everything. O Allah, verily you are all-knowing that this heart have gathered on the basis of love for you, met on obedience to you, and united on your da'wah. This heart has borne a faithful promise to support and uphold your law. So, O Allah, strengthen this bond, maintain his affection, and give guidance for him. Fill this heart with your light that never fades. Open this heart with the faith and the beauty of trust to you. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل اللهم فينا ولا معنا ولا من يتبعنا شقيا ولا مدحودا ولا محروما اللهم اجعل خير أعمالنا آخره وخير أعمالنا خواتمه وخير أيامنا يوم ألقاك فيه اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Amin, Amin, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Thank you, Shazwan. Now, I would like to invite Ahmad Husaini Hafiz bin Muhammad Azam, President of Agricultural Science Education Club from University Putra Malaysia, UPM, to give his welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Thank you, Chairperson Nurul Izzahani, for inviting me to deliver my speech. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening to all audience. First of all, I would like to thank everyone in BPS Club program who worked very hard to make the program happen. For this program, I'm really grateful because we are organizing this program to learn about the new knowledge from 3 different countries. We collaborated with another special panels from another university, from Saudi and Indonesia, to get different views and perspectives about agricultural education and extensions. From this program, we hope it can give us a lot of benefit that we might use in the future. I think that's all from me. I hope everyone enjoy this program. Thank you Take
Recording
care
in progress.
and stay safe.
Thank you, Hafiz, for a warm speech. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break for a while. While waiting, our keynote speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Abdullah Rashid, to get ready. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we can take a break for Ishaq prayer first. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now continue our program. Again, I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Yahya Al-Latibi, Agricultural Lecturer from Kiryat University, Dr. Zulham Hasin, Agricultural Lecturer from Universitas Islam Gorontalo, Indonesia. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, dear honorable guests, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Abdullah Rashid as our keynote speaker for today. Welcome.
Assalamualaikum Dr. Yahya and Dr. Zulham. How are you doing?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Doing good, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
How about Dr. Yahya?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm good, and I would like to thank you for the invitation to be part of this event.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Dear honorable guests, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Abdullah Rashid as our keynote speaker for today. Please welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Shall I continue with the presentation or? Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening to everyone, to Dr. Normala from UPM, Dr. Yahya from Gorontalo, I believe. Correct me if I mistake.
King Saud University, Riyadh.
King Saud University, okay, Riyadh. Ahlan wa sahlan. From Gorontalo, Dr.
Zulham Sirajuddin.
Okay, Dr. Zul, Okay, and all participants from UPM, Gorontalo, as well as King Riyadh University. Okay. I would like to present today to share with you Can everyone see my slide?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. So this is the title for my presentation today: discovering uniqueness of agricultural education and extension program. So first of all, I would like to congratulate to the committee of organizer who kind of invite me for this event, and also I appreciate your effort. This kind of like international webinar. So I encourage you to continue this event in the future. Okay. So this university as international university. Okay. So in this presentation, I will cover basically five topics. First of all, I will talk about agriculture education, agriculture science education program, food security and sovereignty, supply and utilization of accounts, younger generation in agriculture sector, and lastly about agribusiness. Okay. So this is definition by Heron and Donahue in 1991 about agriculture. So they define agriculture is broad industry engaged in the production of plants and animal for food, fiber, feed, and many other desired products. The provision of agriculture supply and services, and the processing, marketing, and distribution of agriculture product. Okay, this is basically a broad definition, and it covers everything. Okay? And as well as agriculture education is a systematic program of instruction available to students designed to learn about science, business, technology of plant and animal production, and or about the environmental and natural resources system. If we can see in this picture, so can you name what program, specific program in agriculture sector that involved in this program? Yeah, you can interact with me and answer it. I welcome. Anyone? Any participant? What I call it, from King Sound. Did you know this fruit? Can you see the picture of this fruit?
Yeah, I can see the picture, but is it unfamiliar to me actually?
Oh, chili? This fruit?
Yeah.
Do you know what the name of this fruit?
I don't know actually.
Okay. This actually is we call it durian.
Okay.
Where Andrew Zimmerman call it the smellless fruit. Then he do not like it. But we are in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, of course, in Southeast Asia we call it, this is king of fruit. So we love this fruit very much. Okay, this is durian. okay, durian is very smelly, and once you fell in love with it, so I think you will crave about this fruit. Okay, this is one of the sector in agriculture. Also in in animal production. Okay, in this picture. So what about the sector in agriculture program that's not included in this picture? Can you and other student or participant in this webinar can name that not include over here in this picture?
Prof, what about poultry sector? Yeah.
Poultry, yes, not include. Yes, very good. Okay, you can ask for Mark if you if your this webinar associate with your program. You can ask for the marks. Okay. Any others?
Horticulture, Doctor.
Yeah, horticulture is not here. What other?
I think livestock industry.
Livestock. How about this one? Is good here? Okay. Maybe you talk about a cow, right?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Here also you can see we use traditional farming, right? Okay. Traditional farming, right? But also we use a modern technology like this one. We use what? We use drone to fertilize or to to fertilize or or other things you can do with the drone, right? Okay, let's move to the next slide. So there's a lot of sector in agriculture field, as you say. Also, just now we can see in the picture is with the mechanization. This picture here, mechanization. So mechanization also including agriculture, agribusiness, agri-science, biotechnology, botany, crop science, poultry science, dairy science, okay, food science, plant pathology, for instance. Okay. This one also including agriculture program as well as the wing of agriculture, where is to connect with the community extension program. Okay, so that's why the uniqueness of agriculture program is come from. So because it's deal with it play a central role in our daily life, daily activities. That's why the agriculture program is unique. Okay? But in the future, so we talk about using application of robots, temperature control, moisture sensor, aerial image, GPS technology. This is the future of agriculture. Okay, so but in addition to that, the most important is the population of the world is going to be like 10 billion of population. So with 10 billion of population by 2050, it expect increase of food produce of agriculture product will increase 60 to 70%. So we need to increase to make sure food demand from population of the world is enough. If not, there is what I call it disaster. It's going to happen with the currently crisis of water, So we need to make sure our food production by 2050 from now going to be increased 60 to 70%. Okay, let's move to the next topic. I would like to share with you about food security. Okay, food security. Actually, current agriculture is contribute 60% to the world population. Okay, what I mean is carrier in agriculture is involved 60% of the world in the world jobs. Okay, relate to farmers, workers, trader, seller, restaurant business, and others. Okay, so is all this occupation or job is 60% in the world. Okay, in Malaysia, as a Malaysian case, we Malaysian import about a quarter for food consumption. Okay, and so 3/4 we produce in the country, but we import a quarter of what we call it of the food from others. Okay, okay. So basically, in Malaysian case, we import about increase 6.5% every year. Okay, for instance, like in 2010, we import 7.3 billion of food. Okay, in 2013, 10.4 billion. 2018, 12.1 billion. Okay. If we relate with Global Food Security Index, so our country, Malaysian, is ranked number 28. Okay, it means it's not very good. It's not very good. So we import. We depend on others for food production. Okay. However, the good news is some of imported fruit and vegetable, as well as fishery, as well as livestock, we can plant and produce it or harvest it from the country. Okay, like chilies, like mushroom, like coconut, like mangoes and bananas. So, so this is currently we struggle with the it's not how, but the human resource to plant these all these crops. Okay. Okay. We talked about food security just now, so it's very important as well as Indonesia, as well in Saudi Arabia. For instance, our neighboring country, Singapore, its rank GFS for Singapore is number 1. Mean Singapore is no problem with food security. They got enough food. However, this global food security is not take into account whether they produce in the country or not. But for Singapore, they import from 170 countries throughout the world. So is they got enough food, but they import. All the food is imported. All the agriculture produce is they import it. Okay, but as I said, GFS index is not taken into account whether they produce in the country or not. But however, Malaysia produce 3/4, what you call it, of our food production. Only a quarter we import it. Okay, I don't know about the Saudi, but Saudi ranks for GFS as well as Indonesia. But right now, if we talk about this COVID-19 pandemic, it's kind of little bit effect of what you call it, each country. Okay. Okay. We talk about right now, I'm going to move to the topic, the supply and utilization account of selected agriculture communities. Okay, so in each countries, okay, the SUA account indicate whether the nation is kind of can produce what you call it the food or sustain the food for its what you call it citizen or not. Okay, the three indicators in SUA is SSR, sufficiency ratio, IDR, import dependency ratio, as well as PCC, per capita consumption. In short, if our SSR is higher, so means we in a good hand. Okay, like we got above 100, so we are in good hand as SSR. Okay, for IDR, if the number is highest, it's not good. So it means we need to import more. But the last one, the PCC, is referred to the consumption of each of our citizen. Okay, mean consumed by each person in the country each year. Okay, so look at this one. Okay, in 2019, for Malaysian, we are good in terms of we produce watermelon for fruit is 161. Okay, 161%. So it means if extra, we can export to other nation. Okay, as well as what you call it papaya, 153%. Okay, all this one, all this kind of I call it what we call it food is enough for us. What you call it to use in the country. Okay. However, if you look at the IDR, we import like mangoes, like 73.5%, right? We import mangoes. If we can see here, okay. So we import mangoes like 73.5%. Means, as I said, we can plant mango and produce it in the country, but however we import it. So in this case, we need new farmers, young generation involved in the farmers, this kind of things. Okay, or we need what I call younger generation to kind of involve, participate in the producing of what you call it our food, our agriculture, involved in agriculture sector. Okay. Pardon me. Okay. For livestock, if you can see here, we import mutton for 87.9%. So means Malaysian import I call it mutton from Australia, from New Zealand. So it's what you call it make sure our citizen what you call it have a what you call it, involved in the whether the mutton or cow, so we can what you call it be independent country for the livestock here. Okay, as well as fishery, we import like mackerel. Okay, shrimp, and tuna. Like, although we are surrounded by ocean and sea, but we still import not enough for our citizens to feed our citizens. Okay, so that means our citizen consume which kind of crop, as well as livestock and fishery. Okay, that built the case for what I call younger generation. You as a younger generation, right now, our younger generation is kind of, your perception toward agriculture is kind of need to be aligned. Am I correct? But you are involved, you are in the agriculture program, but I'm not sure whether you are real to get really involved, mean to be like a farmer, a scientist, whatever you like to be in the agriculture sector, or you, for instance, you just want to be a teacher to teach agriculture. At the same time, you want to also to be a farmer, a teacher and a farmer at the same time. So you need to ask yourself. Okay. So basically, research show that younger generation, what I call it, have a negative perception about agriculture field. Okay, because they say agriculture is less attracted. Is kind of perception relate with elderly. When we talk about agriculture, what we call it, live in rural areas, okay, and using traditional technology, okay, as well as family support, lack of family support. But as you can see, what we call it, my slide earlier, we talk about future agriculture related to robotic, temperature and moisture control, area image. So kind of vertical farming, farming in the house, in the greenhouse, as well in basement farming. So there's a lot of technology used over there. Whether you, as younger generation, want to involve or want to participate in agriculture or not, or you just want to be a teacher, extension agent, or whatever, but for yourself, you need to be play two roles, as a teacher as well as a producer of agriculture, or a role model. To me, it's going to be like that, because you kind of, all other people around you, if you're going to be a teacher, so among your teacher colleague also going to look at you whether you kind of walk the talk or not, just be a teacher, or you also kind of be a producer, okay? Okay, you need to ask yourself about this one, okay? Okay, having said that, because what I call it, business, okay, entrepreneurship in agriculture involves lots of level, lots of sector, whether you want to involve in planting, cultivation, animal, fishery, dairy, horticulture, soil, nutrition, genetic mechanization. So this kind of thing you can involve. So you need to ask yourself whether you want to be only in to be you want to get a passive income, or you want to get active income. passive income in you work with employer and you got salary every month. You're going to pay salary every month. Or in other hand, you can get passive income as well as active income with you selling a vegetable, a crop that you produce to others. So active income, okay? Or you want to be entrepreneurs, where the import, export, or produce or planting the crop that, based on the SSR that I showed to you earlier. So for Malaysian, for instance, if we can look here, for vegetables, in Malaysian case, what type of vegetable, if you want to be a producer, you want to plant? Can you answer me, one of you?
What is it, Prof?
Okay, if I want to be a producer or a farmer, okay, what type of vegetable should I plant?
Like kale. Kale it is a type of lettuce.
Okay, based on SSR here, okay, what do you think I should plant?
Can I add some, Prof?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think based on the self-sufficient ratio, we can take a look at the vegetables that have a lower self-sufficiency ratio. So I guess ginger is a good choice to start producing a vegetables business, I think.
Okay, ginger is good, but I'm asking about vegetable. Either chilies, round cabbage, this is good because the SSR for chili is 30.8, right? So there's still not enough chilies in the countries. Also round cabbage, about 36.2, right? So I will plant this type of vegetable if I want to start to be a farmer. Okay. Okay, that's good. Ginger as well. Okay, so because the SSR is low. Okay, so we need to stop or decrease the import of ginger because our soil is very good. We can plant it. Okay, so for you to be a younger generation involved in in agriculture sector, that's if you want to plan, you want to be a importer, whatever you want to involve is okay because agriculture sector is very wide, very vast, lots of area involved. That's why, as I said, agriculture sector is unique. Okay. So since you guys all involved in agriculture, you got knowledge and skill, okay, from your education. So you guys need to me, I strongly recommend you be wherever you want to be. At the same time, at least you plan for your own use or your family use. It is very good of kind of practice or very good of if you do that, it's kind of be a good role model to others because when you plan your food yourself, it's like you know whether you use pesticide or not. For sure, you're not going to use pesticide for your your own food. Okay? This is a lot of benefit, if you plant your own crops. Okay. look at the bigger picture, okay? As in Malaysian case, we still we spend lots of money in what you call it commodity, okay? Like palm oil. We Malaysian and Indonesia is the biggest what you call exporter of palm oil in the world, okay? So as a Malaysian case, we emphasize, we pour our money for the commodity as a palm oil, what do you call it, and others industrial crop. But we need to, the government need to be balanced to make sure a quarter of import bill is going to be decreased. That's the case, as well as encourage the younger generation, okay? Younger generation to get involved in agriculture sector, okay? So with the new technologies and the right attitude, the right perception, I believe that our food security, any country food security, if they produce it in the country, will be kind of safe in case of something like, for instance, like if we depend on other nation agriculture production, if they kind of what you call it effect with something like for instance is not the doa, like in India we import chili, dry chili from India, we import onion from India and China. If kind of we heard recently that their COVID-19 is kind of affect lots of them. If over there during that time, if this pandemic kind of penetrate so deep, so the import will be effect as well. But thanks God, Alhamdulillah, it's not that affected during that time, so we still can import. If that's the case, it's going to, our food security will be jeopardized. Okay, so okay, should I stop my presentation? I think this is the end of my presentation. So I give back to the Madam Chairperson.
Thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Muhammad Rashid, for your inspiring information of Agricultural Science Education Program. What I can conclude, we can view the importance of young generation's involvement in agricultural activities to make sure we can achieve independent country of food security. As there are many varieties of agricultural sector, we can learn, practice, and explore for future. Ladies and gentlemen, now I will pass the mic to Madam Nurul Husna to continue to next forum as our moderator. Please welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the evening forum of today. I'm Nurul Husna binti Abdul Razak as a moderator for today's forum. First of all, I would like to thank to all of the audience. Thank you very much for attending this forum. Our theme for today is discovering the uniqueness of agriculture education and extension program. To start with, let me introduce to all of you our panelists for today. Our first panelist, Dr. Nomala Ismail, is a senior lecturer at University Putra Malaysia and focusing on agricultural science education in Malaysia. Our second panelist, Dr. Zulham Sirajuddin, is a senior lecturer at Universitas Islam Gorontalo, Indonesia, and focusing on agricultural extension program in Indonesia. And our last but not least panelist, Dr. Yahya Al-Tibi, is a senior lecturer at King Saud University, Saudi Arabia, and focusing on agricultural education, technical agriculture and extension in Saudi Arabia. You can see all of them have a lot of knowledge and expert in this topic that we will discuss today. We will have 3 rounds for this forum, and all questions asked will be answered by all panelists. Without further ado, let's start with the first question for Dr. Nomala, Dr. Zulham, and Dr. Yahya. Doctor, what will be agriculture education and extension in your country, and what program do your university offer for agriculture education and extension? Can we start with Dr. Nomala first? Can Dr. Nomala describe how it looks like in Malaysia?
Thank you very much, Madam Nurul Husna, as our moderator for today. So before I begin our forum today, I would just love to express my gratitude to all KPSP committee members that organized this event. You know, this is like international webinar. It's not really easy. I've communicated many times with Dr. Zulham and Dr. Yahya. Thank you very much. So to answer your questions about the first one about agriculture education and agriculture extension in Malaysia, well, I would just love to explain a little bit about Malaysia. You know, Malaysia is situated somewhere in the north of the equator and composed of 2 different parts. The first one is Peninsular Malaysia, which what we call Semenanjung Malaysia, and also the east part of the Malaysia, okay, which is on the island of the Borneo, or Malaysia Timur, the east part of the Malaysia. So basically, the program agriculture education is one of the programs that offer in a public university in Malaysia, in University Putra Malaysia, as well as in University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. You know, the model of agriculture science education and extension education practice in Malaysia is they are very unique and interesting because agriculture science education is located under Ministry of Agriculture, whereas agriculture extension is located under Ministry of Agriculture. So it is like segregated, you know, it's not a combination of it as what we compare in the US itself. Agriculture education and extension is a combination of a department in a university in the US. You know, although both of these programs, they are different, but they have some sort of the similarities in delivering and disseminating of the knowledge to adult. You know, in this case, I would just love to respond about the program in UPM. In UPM, we offer a program that called Bachelor of Educational or Agriculture Science that specifically focus on agriculture education. And this program is offered in Faculty of Educational Study, in Faculty of Educational Studies in Malaysia, in UPM, okay? Meanwhile, the program about agriculture extension is offered in Faculty of Agriculture, but the program is not exist by itself. You know, the courses offered in the Department of Extension in Faculty of Agriculture. There are several courses in Faculty of Agriculture in UPM, namely business, agribusiness, agriculture science, horticulture, aquaculture, livestock, as well as plantation. I think that's all for now.
Thank you, Dr. Nomala, for the brief explanation. And Dr. Zulham, how about Indonesia?
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, everyone, and good evening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, it is an honor for me to be invited to talk in this beautiful occasion, and I would like to say thank you, especially for the organizing committee and for Dr. Nomala, and also all the participants. Let me first explain a little bit about agriculture extension and also agricultural education in Indonesia. Actually, my specialization is in agricultural extension, so I may not talk about a lot about agriculture or education, but I will talk a lot about agricultural extension. So agricultural extension in Indonesia is called penyuluhan pertanian. The basic word is suluh. The word suluh derives from the Dutch word for lichting, which means torch or to enlighten the path ahead. So agriculture extension in the past is a really top-down policy because at that time we were the Dutch colony at that time. So Indonesian farmers in the colonization era, they must provide cash crops to be exported to other countries. So agriculture extension in Indonesia is a non-formal education running under the Ministry of Agriculture. And it is one of the biggest agriculture extension system in the world. We employ more than 30,000 extension educators. Sometimes we call them extension agents, working throughout more than 83,000 villages in Indonesia. And apart from that, we also provide agricultural education in universities. And we have, in each province, we have specific university that provide bachelor's degree in the field of agricultural education. Yeah, so that's what I can explain about agricultural extension and education in Indonesia.
Thank you, Dr. Zulham, for the brief information. And Dr. Yahya, how about Saudi Arabia?
For Saudi Arabia, I have I think is a combination or similarity. There is a similarity between Saudi Arabia and Malaysia in one side, and with Indonesia as well, the other side. We don't have agricultural education in public schools, like in the elementary through high school. We don't have agricultural program, but we have agricultural programs in at the university college. As Dr. Rashid mentioned earlier, that agricultural education is connected with all departments in College of Agriculture. Students who are studying animal production, plant production, or all types of agriculture sector can be considered as agricultural education in terms of construction, instruction, and teaching methods. For the similarity in Indonesia, here in Saudi Arabia also, more experting in agriculture extension, and agriculture extension departments went under the Ministry of Agriculture. So the Ministry of Agriculture is responsible for all extension activities in the country, including designing, evaluating, and conducting agricultural program. And the similarity with Malaysia, that agricultural education and in universities and colleges went under the Ministry of Education. So we have the same thing, the agriculture education under Ministry of Education, and agricultural extension is belonging to Agriculture Ministry.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yahya, for the brief clarification. Okay, we will continue with the second question for our panelists. Doctor, as you can see that there are 3 circle models in agricultural education in US, consists of curriculum and instruction, FFA, Future Farmers of America, and SAE, Supervised Agricultural Experience. How these 3 circles apply in your university or country that offer agricultural education and extension in Malaysia?
Sure, Madam Norusna. Okay, so before I talk about the model of the three circle model about agriculture education, I just would love to share a little bit about the program of the bachelor education program in Malaysia itself. For bachelor of educational program, the breakdown of the courses that the students they need to go through, including all the university courses in agriculture science, as well as all the university courses, as well as agriculture science courses, and also pedagogy courses. So we can see that the students that we produce in Malaysia, who are especially in agriculture education, they're kind of like complete enough, because they learn almost everything as compared to other students. Okay, so the students in Malaysia also, they need to go through the early teaching learning, early teaching experience, like the purpose of it is, of course, to help them with the confidence level of teaching skills at school, just to expose them about school. And in addition, the student teachers, they need to go for their teaching practical for 16 weeks, at the end of their semester. So 16 weeks just to prepare them to become a teacher. So basically, at the graduate level, the program in agriculture education for Master of Science as well as the PhD. In the UPM itself, we don't have Master of Science in agriculture education. We don't have something like that. We have Master of Science specifically in technical and vocational education, as well as in PhD. So I hope Dr. Yahya and Dr. Zulha maybe soon, we really want to see some students from your country, from Gorontalo, as well as from King Saud, to come to Malaysia to further their study. Maybe at a bachelor level, or maybe at master or PhD level. Okay, can you do that? Yeah, Dr. Yahya and Dr. Zulham. Maybe can you, promote our program at your school? So I really hope that will happen soon. So basically, to answer Madam Husna's question just now about the three circle model that apply in the US, that consists of classroom instruction, and then the second one as the supervised agriculture experience, and the FFA leadership. Maybe our technical committee can share the diagram that I made in my PowerPoint slide, so that we can see that the three circle model there. So the three circle model itself is not apply 100% in Malaysia. Okay. However, the uniqueness of this program is always discussed and debated. Okay. And a part of it is how this program can translate a leadership in agriculture among learners. So as far as we are concerned, the FFA component actually really want to prepare students for leadership, and for all the students that we produce in agriculture. So however, the question raised about how we want to translate leadership in agriculture if we don't have any FFA in Malaysia. So maybe it's time for Malaysia to develop a basic structure of FFM. FFA is stand for Future Farmer America. So I think I just this is my rough idea. Think about it. Just maybe now is the best time for Malaysia to develop Future Farmers Malaysia, as what happened in Thailand. I think for past 2-3 years ago, Thailand already developed Future Farmer Thailand, something like that. This is just to ensure that our students not only have a knowledge and competence in agriculture, but also have a strong leadership that can help their community that close to them. At least 5 years from now, we can see that what I hope is that the graduate students from Bachelor Educational Program BPSP not only graduate with a degree, but also can help their community in plant vegetables, when they teach, and then they collaborate with parent and student. They work close together between each other in doing their project through FFM. So that is one of the component in the model of agriculture that what in Malaysia we should think and discuss much more seriously. And adding to that, adding to that, I also wonder what happened to SAE in Malaysia. I understand that teachers who teach agriculture students at school, they need to supervise their teacher. They need to supervise their students when their students running any agriculture project. For example, in Malaysia, students learn how to plant a watermelon, or maybe plant chili using a fertigation technique. Fertigation stands for two words, fertilize and irrigation, and it's a soil useless, something like that. So we do not use soil as a medium for plant, but we use a soilless medium such as peat moss, something like that, or maybe a bio product, just to make sure that it can replace soil as a medium. So I just wonder about in Malaysia, because teacher, they really need to depend on the curriculum that developed by Ministry of the Education, and how SAE can be enhanced in Malaysia, because SAE the component of SAE in the three circle model stand for supervised agriculture education. So the issue here is how SAE can enhance the program in agriculture education in Malaysia, because the curriculum itself is standardized. How element of the creativity can work here. And therefore, what I want to suggest here, maybe now we need to think and discuss much more serious about how we can imply a national agriculture program at school, at least a week program for every school that offer agriculture courses. So this program is organized, systematically, and then the students can participate in activities, conducting any project, maybe a year project or maybe months project in agriculture. And then the teacher can show how they supervise their students as well as show the product, so that everybody in the school will, just to maybe interest to learn more about agriculture once they see this program happen at school. So, and again, I think the issue about implementing model of agriculture education is still debated in Malaysia. And Malaysia has not exactly follow 100% model of agriculture. However, in one way to deal with the model of agriculture education, we have our own national philosophy, and whatever we teach at school need always to follow the national philosophy. Okay, I think maybe I can stop there, Madam Musna.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mara. It's a good suggestion actually. And Dr. Zulham, how about history of extension in Indonesia? Sorry, Dr. Zulham.
Okay, thank you very much. And before we go into that, I would like to say that what Dr. Normala mentioned before that is really interesting. Maybe later in the future, we can initiate student exchange programs between Indonesian universities and Malaysian university, because one of the Indonesian government nowadays is to motivate students to go abroad. So they provide scholarship for the bachelor students to take like 1 or 2 semesters in other countries, so they can get along with other people from around the world, including Malaysia. And maybe I cannot explain a lot about the model in agricultural education, but we do have similar model in extension programs in Indonesia. As you know that agriculture extension is a non-formal education. So, unlike the formal education, in extension, there is no fixed curriculum to be implemented, because it's, even though we call the extension agents the educator, but it is a non-formal education where the farmers are the adult learners in extension, However, if you see the chart that I sent you on the next page, page number 2, you can see the flow chart. Would you please change the next page for the presentation? Yeah, the next page, please. Yeah. So here you can see that this is the major model in agricultural extension system in Indonesia, where we have an interaction between the research centers, where they generate research, they create products such as new varieties or even new what we call planting methods, for example, and they the extension system or the extension educators, they bring those technologies, the innovation to farmers through a communication channel. So they do what we call here as technology transfer. They disseminate information from the research center to the clients, and the clients here, mostly the clients here are the farmers, and including the farmer groups, and also the small-scale industries. So they kind of making technologies implemented in rural areas, and it is very important to note that in agricultural extension system in Indonesia, demonstration plot is very important because in adult. For the adult parents, they will not believe you if they don't see the results of new technology. So with this interaction between research centers and extension system or extension educators and the clients, we try to make a better life for the rural people. So although there is no fixed curriculum here, because it could be depending on the situation and the basic needs of the farmers. For example, some farmers might need new varieties. For example, farmers who live in a drought area, they need a new variety that can be planted even without rain. But maybe for other farmers who live in other areas, they need more information about planting methods rather than the varieties. So there is no fixed curriculum actually in agricultural extension system. So it is very important for the extension system in Indonesia to recognize the basic needs, the variety of basic needs of the farmers in where they work. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Zulham, for the brief information in Indonesia. And Dr. Yahya, how about Saudi Arabia?
For Saudi Arabia, I would like to focus on the agricultural extension programs, which are, as I mentioned earlier, designed and implemented by the agricultural extension directorates under the agricultural ministry. Actually, the uniqueness of agricultural extension, not only in Saudi Arabia, but I think is around the world, even in Indonesia or Malaysia, that agricultural extension not only care about technology, new technologies, it doesn't care only on like production, like animal or plants, but most important thing about agricultural extension, that dealing with people, dealing with communities and societies, which make it like, I will not say like complicated, but more connected, and makes it makes bridges between the technical side of agriculture and social sides of agriculture. here and since the agriculture usually is practiced on or in rural communities, that makes rural communities is the and farmers are the main client of agriculture extension. As Dr. Zulham mentioned also, that the main purpose or role of agriculture extension is taking the problems and understand the problems in the field as stated by or as faced by farmers and communities, and take these problems to the centers or research colleges or whatever to find solutions and transfer this knowledge and to understandable language and take them back to the farmers. I think Dr. Zulham will agree with me on this. So in my opinion, the good thing to practice agriculture extension is to be from bottom to up the level, not only taking the commands and orders from top of the let's say the pyramids and take all the orders and command to farmers to apply. So it's like different situation, different challenges may face farmers. So we need to take care of all these diverse and different problems to the high officials and find and researchers and find the solutions. In Saudi Arabia, I think agricultural extension faced two main challenges. The first thing is that Saudi Arabia is a big country, like it's around 2.5 million kilometers. This big country has diverse climate, different topographies like geography, which may face farmers in around the country. The problem is here, agricultural extension work from top to bottom, which is like taking the policy and regulations, sometimes the problems discovered in some areas of the country, and just generalize this problem or solutions on the whole country, which is makes the solution less efficient when come to implementing as FFA in the United States. We don't have like a specific program yet, but between 2019 and 2020, right before the pandemic, I was working with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, to disseminate water issue awareness for the society. And my team and I was leading that team, decided to focus on young generation, not only to tell them or to raise their awareness, but to make them or to prepare them as future leaders to predict our environment, starting with water or groundwater in such a desert country like Saudi Arabia. We visited like many high schools and universities. We meet with the students there, and we explain and show them real cases from around the country about water issues and how we treat our water in the country. Actually, the participations and the enthusiasm of their students. They keep calling, emailing me like their designs, infographic designs, video designs. We conduct water awareness campaign only using what students producing. That's make them feel like belonging to the program. I think this is good point of start. Not making only assumptions that okay, we don't have special program for future leaders, but we need to use whatever chance we have to engage these young students, even in high school. This year, I may participate with Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, to design and implement a new program about the development of rural communities that take care of make sure of diversity, gender diversity. Like we need to take care more about girls and women in rural societies. Most of regular or traditional extension program here in Saudi Arabia focused on men because they who are they working in the field. But I think when we talk about communities as a unit, 50% of population here in Saudi Arabia consists of girls and women. So we should take care of them as we design and implement for future leaders programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yahya, for the brief clarification on the extension program in Saudi. Now we will start with the second round. And the first question for all panelists. Doctor, what are the characteristics of your graduate in agricultural education and extension program in your university? And what is the program objective for this graduate? We start with Dr. Normala first. Can Dr. describe how the situation in Malaysia?
Thank you, Madam Musla. Hello. Thank you, Madam Musla, for the question. So, our local graduates, especially for those who are graduate with Bachelor of Agriculture Education in Malaysia, and of course, they are going to become educators at school. But now start from 2016, the government not guarantee any job as a teacher after they are graduate. So, the students need to compete to get a place to work in Malaysia as a teacher and teach agriculture. So this is one of the issue what happened in Malaysia. And what I can share with you, because a university that offer agriculture courses, not only University Putra Malaysia, but also University Pendidikan Sultan Idris in Malaysia. So two university faces the same problem. Our local graduates, they are not guaranteed 100% to work as a teacher. So what Dr. Abdullah Rashid mentioned just now, how that we can influence our local graduate to think about, especially for those who are in educational studies, to think about not only think about becoming a teacher. And it's very difficult to say something like that because the program itself consists of courses that prepare them as a teacher. So sometimes it sounds like it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, like the program itself really prepare the students as a teacher. But what happened is just that after you graduate, you didn't get placed as the teacher. So right now, what we want to establish is our local graduates. We don't want them just to think about working in the public school, but think about working in a private school, that offer agriculture courses. And of course, it's not really easy to find a private school that specifically offer agriculture, but it's not impossible. So I would just say that because our students have their major in agriculture education, and their minor in design and technology courses, as best as some other courses like psychology. And our students also learn a little bit about statistics because they need to do their final year project, their research, really foundation research, but still the research is a research. So our local students actually also exposed with entrepreneurship, how they can become entrepreneur, how they are going to involve in business, because they are taking several courses that they learn during their study, so that they can implement or maybe choose, to become choose a business as their career after they graduate. So the program objective itself, as what I mentioned just now, just to prepare proficient students and good skilled student in agriculture itself, but also in this situation with the pandemic, COVID-19 and everything. Also, we should also think about how our local graduate student can be marketably going outside and get work. So I think I answer for that question for Puan Rusna.
Thank you, Dr. Normala, for the great explanation. It is a good suggestion actually. And Dr. Zulham, how about Indonesia?
Okay, thank you very much. So actually at this moment, we do not offer any agricultural education and agricultural extension programs, but we do offer some courses related to that, courses such as, for example, the basics of agricultural extension and communication. And this course is a compulsory course to be taken by all students studying in the Faculty of Agriculture, because you know that in Gorontalo, in Indonesia, specifically in Gorontalo, most graduates work in the field of facilitator, such as extension system or extension educators working for the Ministry of Agriculture, and also some others, they work for industries that deal with communication skills, facilitating skills. So they kind of deal with people, with farmers. So this is very important because as Dr. Yahya mentioned before, that our graduates, they need both technical skills and also social skills. And I think this is also important for not only for the graduates of agricultural extension program, but also the graduates of agricultural education program, because when you become a teacher, it is very important to know that being a teacher is not only about what you know, but also how you convey your knowledge to your students. This is what we call the delivery system. How we channel, how we communicate with other people. Because even though you are very smart in technical skills, but if you cannot communicate to other people, it's sometimes it doesn't work really well. But of course, in our future plan in the university is to establish a master's program on agricultural extension due to students' demand and also the graduates' demand, because most of our graduates, when they work in the agriculture field, most of them, they work in extension programs, either in the public sector or the private sector. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zulham, for the brief information about extension program in Indonesia. And Dr. Yahya, how about Saudi Arabia?
Actually, in Saudi Arabia, there are four different universities providing or have agricultural college. Only King Saud University has a Department of Agricultural Extension and Rural Development. Unfortunately, in 2005, the bachelor program in agricultural extension was suspended So we only have master and PhD program in agriculture extension. Okay. As Dr. Normala is going, inshallah, to make the proposal for FFM program, because Iowa State University students like to invent things. So I suggested that we should offer a diploma for students from other departments in agriculture extension and awareness campaign. So, okay, your specialization in animal production or plant or agricultural engineering or food production, that's okay. But you can have a minor in or diploma in agricultural extension because the extension agriculture extension or agriculture education, in both field you can learn about how to design the learning moment, which is like you could think about learning objectives, teaching methods, and evaluation of your students and evaluation of your program. With this being said, you can apply the instructional design models in any agriculture education program, agriculture extension program. Like I feel that I have responsibility for the new generations, because when we were young, sometimes our vision limited for some things. We don't have the broad vision, and I would like to take this opportunity to enlighten the new generation. Is now okay. Dr. Normala said no more job for agriculture education. Dr. Zulham said no more jobs for agriculture extension agents. That's okay, but all is about creativity, not close your vision on, okay, I have agriculture education degree, I must be agriculture teacher, or that's it. You still have choices. As I mentioned, in instructional design models, which is think about studying the current situation of your client, and then design learning goals or objectives, teaching methods, delivery methods, and teaching aids, teaching technology. This could be applicable on different, a variety of sectors. Even if we think about vocational education, or 3 months ago, we have a new metro here in the city of Riyadh, and then I suggest for the company a new training program for their employment, and I write up a short proposal for them, and they like it. Even my specialization in agriculture extension, but if I cannot be extension agents or agriculture teacher, this is not the end of the world. Now, new technology. Dr. Abdullah Rashid mentioned that new technology getting in agriculture sector, like drone, remote sensing. We need to read and learn about the new technologies and use our knowledge and skills in agriculture, education, or extension to get to a new adventure and broad our vision, not just focus on agriculture teaching or extension agents.
Thank you, Dr. Yahya, for the suggestion. Okay, now we move on to the next question for our panelists. Since many countries have enforced the lockdown because of COVID-19 and work from home, online platform has been used for teaching and learning. Are there any challenge and how teachers or extension agents overcome this situation? And Dr. Nomala, can you share the scenario in Malaysia?
Thank you. I thank you, Madam Usna, again. So it is no doubt about how this COVID-19 pandemic really affect our education system in Malaysia. In Malaysia, what happened? Dr. Yahya and Dr. Zulam and students from Indonesia as well as from Saudi. What happened right now is sometimes our school is closed, sometimes our school is open. Because of the number of the COVID-19, the graph is fluctuated. So what happened right now is the school is closed. So everything using online learning from primary to secondary as well as a tertiary education. So agriculture courses offer at secondary level and university level. So this is what happened in Malaysia. So what happened, in teaching agriculture using online, especially when you want to have a practical that you need to demonstrate. So it's very difficult for the instructor to do that. So what happened is from the study, the instructor in online education, and I'm sure that Dr. Yahya, he has a PhD in online education, understanding about online learning and something like that. Maybe he can explain more. In Malaysia, what happened, the best way of teaching agriculture courses using online learning, the instructor need to equip themselves with a very, very good preparation before they go for online teaching. So basically, if teacher have face-to-face class, the teacher can use all the materials is in front of the learners when they want to conduct the practical class, for example. Like maybe they want to show to the students how you want to seed, plant, seedling, something like that. So it's much more easy for our instructor at school as well as in the university to show it face to face. But what happened right now? Everyone need to use online learning. So the best way of doing that, the instructor, they need to keep themselves prepared before they go for online learning. So you cannot do a last minute preparation. It's not suggested like that. And then the other one thing that we need to concern in Malaysia right now is the facility and the use of technology. It is the biggest obstacle in Malaysia. Okay, as far as we're concerned, the students, especially in the secondary school, that taking courses in agriculture, they are coming from urban area as well as in the rural area. For students from urban area, it is no doubt that the internet connection and everything just fine, so that the online learning can happen smooth. Maybe we have a few cases saying that I don't have internet here and there, but not as reported in rural area in Malaysia. So what happened in Malaysia? Teacher, they're very creative, especially those who are teaching agriculture. There is one case in Sabah, that I just love to share that what I saw from news. Teacher that teach agriculture and other courses, they use asynchronous learning approach, meaning that they are using, instead of using Zoom online, Google Meeting and WhatsApp, the teacher themselves, they go to their student house and pass the worksheet of the homework, just to make sure that the students in the rural area still receive materials to learn. And then after that, the students need to pass their homework to the guard house close to the school. So usually parents are going to help to do something like that if they are not adult enough. For example, like they are in the maybe like 12, 13 or 14 years, or maybe their school not really close to their house, something like that. So this is a big challenge in Malaysia about we want to apply online learning, but our facilities and especially the internet connection, how far it is stable, especially in the rural part of Malaysia. I just want to share my experience when I did my PhD in the US last time. So I follow my my supervisor, my professor, Professor Dr. Greg Miller, because I just asked him, Professor, can you bring me to school somewhere in Iowa? So he brought me to not suburban, like people that is a suburban area somewhere in the Iowa, but the school actually is really it's really small school in a village. It's really far away from Iowa State. It's around, maybe if I'm not mistaken, 3 hours and a half, something like that. And once I arrived there, I asked him, Professor, how about the internet connection here? Internet maybe, maybe we can dream that we should have this one, the technology, the good internet line connection, because everyone can have a smartphone. Smartphone is not really expensive as compared to laptop here and there. Students or people in Malaysia also have granted by the government. The government gives some sort of discount and a voucher for them, especially for those parents who are not really, maybe below B40, kind of like not really coming from the rich family, not in the rich part of family. So they have a voucher so that they can use a voucher to buy a new phone, as well as a package for data here and there. But that is one thing. How about another issue about the line and internet connection, especially in the rural part of the Malaysia? So this problem need to be catered down in order to do online learning during pandemic. If not, then the asynchronous online learning using WhatsApp, a Telegram, or maybe like I mentioned to you, one story in Sabah, the teacher with his own initiative, he ride bike and then he passed the worksheet to the students, from home to home, just to make sure that the students not miss the lesson about learning courses or any subjects at school. So another one thing that I just would like to mention here is how our educator in Malaysia using multiple type of assessment when they conduct online learning, because right now because we used to a very systematic way of assessment when we teach agriculture courses. Okay, but right now we have a pandemic COVID-19. So how much creativity that we should put so that we can use maybe multiple type of assessment instead of one type of assessment or two types. Maybe we can include several type of assessment that can assess our student, not only academically, not only about answering a standardized exam, but as well as the other assessment. How about if the students participate in the class during online learning, and maybe some sort of it, and any other assessment that works for our students. So I just would love to say again my opinion about the importance of enhanced technology and facility, especially the online internet connection, as well as a teacher also need to open their heart to do multiple assessment to their student, and not only depends on the standardized exam. And I understand the standardized exam is from top, from your management, that asking teacher to do that. But as a teacher, what kind of assessment that you want to give to your student if they cannot come to the class? What kind of thing that you should think, how that you want to disseminate, how you're going to deliver the information and materials to your students. So I think those teachers that work with pandemic COVID-19, they are very strong teachers, because they face something that not ever happened in our life before. And as well as they survive and the students still learn something. So I think they are success. I think that's all for now, Madam.
Thank you, Dr. Numaran, for the presentation. And Dr. Nurham, how about Indonesia?
Okay, thank you very much. So I think the situation is mostly the same. It is a very pitiful situation, but we must deal with it. sometimes I feel very weird. I often engage my students in a discussion, and I also often use some jokes in teaching. So sometimes I find it very weird when I use jokes on online platform, and I couldn't hear them laughing. So that's very weird actually. But it's very important for us to to take care of ourselves during this pandemic situation. And I think at the same time you must be creative, as a teacher, as a lecturer, to engage, because some teachers and some lecturers, they don't really prepare for this situation. And luckily for us, especially for those who graduates from U.S. universities, we are quite familiar with online platforms such as Canvas, Blackboard, or other things. So yeah, that's what we can do right now is to combine, just like what Dr. Normala mentioned before, we combine the methodologies, we combine online and offline. Well, I use online mostly for the theories, and when we want to do practices, we have to do it on the field, because this is agriculture. Agriculture needs practices, and practices, we must do practice on the field. And it is very important for us to still, to stick with the rule, with the regulations, to use mask, wash your hands, and keep your distance between students and others. And sometimes it is also important for the teachers to to rotate the students, because the ratio of teachers and students in Indonesia is very high. Sometimes you can find one teacher for like 40 or maybe 50 students, the class size. So sometimes we have to divide it into several sessions in one day. We still can do the offline learning. So in my university, we combine online and offline. We realized that online is not enough, but we must make the best use of the technology, such as using Zoom, and I think Canvas, Blackboard, or even Google Classroom is really helpful for the teachers. And it is very challenging nowadays, but it's like I mentioned before, it's a very beautiful situation, but we must deal with it. As an agriculture teachers, agriculture graduates, you must be creative. Farmers are so creative sometimes. So as the teachers, you must be creative too. You're not an agriculture graduates if you're not if you're not creative. Yeah, I think that's all from my experience.
Thank you, Dr. Zulham, for sharing. And Dr. Yahya, how about Saudi Arabia?
Of Saudi Arabia, I would like to cover both agricultural education and agricultural extension. In agricultural education, we actually have 2 semesters of teaching online. First semester, not only for the university professors, but also and students, but also for public schools. People here were not familiar with distance or online education. In public schools, in elementary schools and middle schools, some or many of teachers' responsibilities just moved to parents, whether a mother or father in the house, to keep with their kids who are around 6, 7 years, 8 years old, until they understand and observe the new model of education. And at the university level, professors they didn't take a long time to get used for the educational technology, but I think social distance, or let's call it the transactional distance, in terms of like scientific term for the transactional distance. Transactional distance is not measured by how far students from the teacher or from the professor, but the psychological distance. When I teach students who stay with me in the same classroom is different than I teach students maybe in the next room or in the next classroom with like 3 or 4 meters in between. The psychological distance needs to be bridged by make more effort in dialogue and communication with the students, and construct and the structure of the courses. Some people think that online learning or online education is not good as traditional education, and I have an argue with this, because once you have good structure for your online course, like that design for online learning specifically, okay, because I know some professors just make their materials on PDF program, PDF files, and just send it to the students, and that's it all. This is not distance education. It's just email the material. Distance education and distance teaching is more than that. Designing the delivery that compatible with online teaching, learning activities that can be applied on learning, on online learning, and evaluation for the students, and then evaluate your course, how your course meet your goals as a professor or as a teacher for this course. Saudi Arabia, the situation in Saudi Arabia in terms of COVID-19 is, alhamdulillah, better than many countries around the world. Alhamdulillah, as a rich country, we already have good internet connection covered most of the country. The government provide internet connections for families who couldn't afford the internet packages. Also, we made during this pandemic, we made expansion for the network to access the remote areas for students and for schools that have no internet connection. In the other sector, which is agricultural extension, I think the transactional distance is more difficult, because we are dealing with non-formal education. So the motivation for these farmers, they have specific problem, and they want a solution, cheap solution for this for their problems. agriculture extension lays more on persuasions to disseminate the new practices or the using new technologies. So when we talk about adult learning, they prefer to learn by doing things, not just watching somebody to tell them what to do. Just do it and let me do it and then evaluate my doing. Also, they have their previous experiences, like if you're lucky, the experience will be positive and support your teaching moment, or they have bad experience, so they hold you back and you need more effort to persuade them to adapt whatever technology or techniques you want to disseminate. Online learning is good for delivering knowledge, for changing knowledge, but in case of Saudi Arabia and I think in many of developing country, transferring skills and awareness is facing some like obstacles in this term. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Yahya, for the information. And now we have come to our final round, the last question for our panelists. Doctor, how do you want to see agriculture education and extension another 10 years from now for young people, and how to attract them to join agriculture? Can Dr. Normala share the situation in Malaysia? Dr. Normala?
Thank you, Madam Husna. It's really wonderful to hear from Dr. Zulham and Dr. Yahya, how they're dealing with COVID-19, especially talking about their extension in their country. So to answer your question, I have several suggestions here. What we want to see, another 10 years, the aspiration, how we are going to see agriculture as a career. Okay. So in agriculture education, my suggestion will be like, we need to enhance secondary agriculture courses at school as implementing a best model for agriculture education that work best for every school that offer agriculture courses in Malaysia. Maybe we are not going to copy 100% the model of agriculture education, the 3-circle model, but maybe we can influence some of it, especially we want to enhance more the components of FFA, as well as enhance supervised agriculture education, especially for teachers, how they're going to supervise the student. Maybe we should provide them training, something like that. Okay. And then the second one is to provide professional development for our teacher, especially those who are teaching agriculture courses at school, and also the instructor that work in higher institution. Provide more professional development just to make sure that all the instructor in Malaysia updated with agriculture and technology. What happened in Malaysia is we are exposed to technology, but not much technology apply in Malaysia, and the reason why is because we have one of it is because of the budget, especially in school, because school is not affordable to buy high tech technology in agriculture. In the university, yes, we have a budget to buy it, but at school, how we are going to see maybe just a small tractor at school is very expensive. So in school for agriculture courses. So sometimes we need to think about it and how that we can come out with the technology. And I think the drone, it works right now, and as other technology in agriculture. So in Malaysia, the best way is the government, not only the government, but also the private sector, as well as the government should provide a professional development to teachers, just to make sure that they get updated with the new technology, as well as the new information and skill in agriculture. And then the third suggestion will be to implement agriculture syllabus at primary school. As I mentioned just now, agriculture courses only offer at secondary level and tertiary level in the university. And extension program, not offer in in secondary school. It's offer to teach our young generation, our kids about agriculture and offer agriculture courses at the primary level, at the elementary school. Okay, so maybe one way to do that, maybe and share, maybe conduct just a survey study to see the perception of people if you want to implement agriculture in syllabus at primary school. And the last one is what we need to do right now is we need to attract more younger people to agriculture because agriculture is a business. Even the students graduated with Bachelor of Education in Agriculture Science, but we want to influence them to think about pursuing in entrepreneurship, becoming entrepreneur. So the government in Malaysia actually offer My Agrosys. My Agrosys is one of the grant offered by the Ministry of Agriculture in Malaysia. So this is for younger generation. So I hope that students in Malaysia, before you graduated, you try to have some time to look at the website in NATC website, in under Ministry of Agriculture, and look at this grant, because I can apply for this grant, but you can. Okay, because if you want to apply for, if you want to learn more about, if you want some money to start your business in agriculture, My Agrosys is going to help you with all the training and evaluating your business here and there. So it's really helpful. This is one program that offered by it's not program, a grant offered by a government to help those graduates that are unemployed, but also that want to pursue in entrepreneur. So in talking about extension, even I'm not really, I don't have as much knowledge as Dr. Yahya and Dr. Zulham about extension. But what happened in Malaysia is actually that the students that pursue their study in extension agriculture, they're involved in research, in education, as well as they're going to contribute their research findings to the community, through conference, through workshop, something like that, So although that we don't have exactly the extension station like what we have in the US, I think Dr. Yahya and Dr. Zulham can elaborate more about the extension station that what we found in the US. I guess that there's always a room for discussion to improve agriculture extension in program, agriculture extension program in Malaysia. Such as thinking about extension station and enhanced research. Provide more grants in extension for university to conduct extension research, so that a lot of research can be done to help farmers outside. And also think about the collaboration, between the scientists, researchers, farmers, as well as the community that can bring benefit to agriculture. So I think that's all. Just to answer your question.
Thank you, Dr. Nomara, for the suggestion. And Dr. Zulham, what is your aspiration for Indonesia?
Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, I would like to explain several things about the future of agriculture or agricultural education, especially in the universities, because the phenomenon nowadays is that most young people are not really attracted to agriculture, especially working on the field. And I think if there is no, we need to do more about that, because if we don't do anything, it is more likely to happen in the near future that more young people, they are more attracted to go to the cities, rather than to go back to their villages and to work there, because most young people nowadays, they tend to compare their salaries to their friends who work for companies, for big companies, or for the industries. And the problems in Indonesian agriculture sometimes it's not always about the technology and innovation, but sometimes it's about how to deal with small land, because some students come from rural families who can be categorized as landless farmers and labor farmers. In Indonesia, even though people say that Indonesia is a big country, but actually 70% of Indonesian land is covered by water. So with the population of more than 200, I think it is more than 220 million people now in Indonesia, and more than 50% are living in rural areas. The land, the possessed land by farmers becoming smaller and smaller in the future, especially when they inherited the land to their children. And some students, they come from those families. And nowadays, most farmers in rural areas, they possess less than 0.3 hectares of land. So our challenge in the future, one of our challenges in the future is how to make agriculture more attractive and also profitable. For example, we can teach how to use affordable technologies, which can be useful in small land, to use less money for more profit, for agricultural graduates, for example, maybe using hydroponics maybe, or verticulture. I think that is very important nowadays, not only to teach them how to cultivate in a big size of land, but also how to make use of their their front yard or maybe their backyard, how to make it more profitable for them, by using affordable technologies. I think that is very important. And also, as Dr. Normala mentioned before, that agriculture is a business. So to make it more profitable, it is very important to teach not only the agriculture students but also farmers, in extension system, is to improve more on the knowledge on agribusiness, especially nowadays is digital agribusiness is very important. How to use online platform to promote your products, for example, how to compete with other people online, how to convince people, how to convince buyer to purchase the products that you sell as agricultural graduates and also as farmers. So if you're working in extension system, you have to make use of those technologies, because future agriculture will be using a lot of computers and robots. It is very important for agricultural teachers and also for agricultural extension educators to incorporate ICT in agricultural education system and also extension system. And I think it is also very important to bridge communities in all aspects, to ask all communities, all people in all aspects, for example, the governments, universities, and also the private sectors to work together, to deal with the future problem in agriculture. I think that is my opinion about, the future of agriculture, especially for young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zulham, for the information and suggestion. And Dr. Yahya, what is your aspiration for Saudi Arabia?
To see the future of agriculture education or agriculture extension in Saudi Arabia, we need to know what what are the challenge right now, and what is the situation right now in Saudi Arabia in terms of agriculture. We have like, as I mentioned, big country, desert country, with low amount of rain each year. Like the rain we have in Saudi Arabia in average is only 110 millimeter. This 4% of what Malaysia gets each year. So with like desert country, there is picture I would like to share with you. Do you see the photo is here? Can you
Not
see
yet,
it?
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's loading. Yeah.
It's loading.
Yeah.
It's still loading?
Yeah, I can see the picture.
Okay. Never mind. But you can Google, just write desert in Saudi Arabia and see. So this type of land is difficult to cultivate something on it. So we need much amount of water. With the challenge of no water rain, we depend on the groundwater. The groundwater is the water stored like thousands and millions years underground the water. Unfortunately, each year we need to dig deep wells deeper to get the water out of the ground. The agriculture here in Saudi Arabia consume nearly 85% of the all water usage in Saudi Arabia, and only it's participated on only 2% of GDP of Saudi Arabia. This is big challenge. Does that mean we should stop agriculture in Saudi Arabia? No. This is food security is important, but also water security is important as well. So we need to find an optimal solution, optimizations, input, output. Should we growing these crops? Should we import these crops? With this being said, Saudi Arabia still have self-efficiency in many essential vegetables. We growing and we export some vegetables to surrounding country like Kuwait, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates. We export like dates, tomato, cucumbers, these type of vegetables. We export them, and we get to import crops that we don't have, or we cannot grow it in Saudi Arabia, like rice. So in the future, we need to find, we need to continue on research to find ways of agriculture, ways to cultivate current and varieties that we cannot grow, and find solutions and ways to grow this in our climate and our situation. Some initiatives now by the government providing support for young generations who have agricultural degree and they want to grow fruit or vegetables that can be grown in Saudi Arabia, like in the south part of Saudi Arabia. We got like good amount of rain, we can grow mango, we could grow bananas, coffee, which can be consumed in Saudi Arabia and also to surrounding countries. In terms of agricultural extension and agricultural education, I would like to see both of them under one umbrella, just like US model. In the US model, the extension stations or research stations run by the university. The same thing in agriculture extension. Big role in these programs are played by the universities. And there is a big collaboration. In my opinion, the big challenge for extension here in Saudi Arabia that agriculture extension work under agricultural ministry and agriculture education under education ministry. They're supposed to be together for smooth transaction for the knowledge and skills. Last point I would like to mention, all of us today talking and mention that young generation don't like to work in agriculture. And I have a question for this. Why should they attract to agriculture? Until like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, the agriculture are the same, the traditional agriculture. Like in my country, I understand now is the problem rise in Malaysia and in Indonesia as well. You can imagine in the United States, they are saying the same thing. So we need to make the agriculture, we need to work on that. And like not just only in conference and write paper about this, we need to see work to make the agriculture attractive. Is it like profit? There is a profit in agriculture, yes. Is it a business? But we need to find solutions, creative ones that make agriculture creative. This is I don't want to say this is not a job for new generations. No, the creativity comes from the young generation themselves. So find new solutions with creative ones. Now all the jobs, or you're a doctor, engineering, teacher, you got to have creativity to be successful in your path. So agriculture, the same thing. Like now we need the food. 10 years later we need food. 100 years later we need food. So we need agriculture all through our lives and new generation as well. So if you find a project with creative ideas to produce food, you're gonna be successful and you're gonna be rich faster than anyone work in field other than agriculture, except technology. So this is what I think about agriculture in my country in 10 years. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Yahya, for the suggestion and information. Okay, from the discussion, we can conclude that there are many innovation and transformation throughout the year in agriculture education and extension program. There are also many opportunities for young people in agriculture sector. Thank you again, Dr. Nomala, Dr. Zulham, and Dr. Yahya for the informative and interesting talk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to question and answer session. We open for 2 questions only as we have limited time. So anybody have any question to be asked to our panelists? Please don't forget to mention your name and to whom you want to ask. Any question?
Hello.
Okay, you can start with your question.
Okay. I'm Esther. I have a question for Dr. Yahya. I'm sorry, I can open my camera because of the connection problem.
Okay.
Okay, I want to know what are the necessary qualifications to enable us to qualify for admission to King Saud University, Saudi Arabia in the field of agricultural science education?
Okay. Now, like Saudi Arabia, 8 years or 10 years, especially King Saud University, over scholarship for citizens from Islamic country. We have students now from Pakistan, from Indonesia. We have students from Malaysia as well. Each year there will be opening to applications. The requirements are easy in my opinion. We required IELTS. We required IELTS, I think 5. And your average should be above 3.775 and apply in the right time. We offer a job beside the scholarship. It is the research assistant and the assistant researchers got around $500 and housing on the university. So I think is good opportunities for people from Islamic country to apply not only on College of Agriculture but in King Saud University, and many colleges are offer this opportunities. When the open come, I will contact Dr. Normala and Dr. Zulham to notify their students. I was to say their children about but their students, yeah.
Okay. Dr. Yahya, I have one question there. So how about the language used for master study? Are they going to use English or 100% or maybe Arabic language, something like that? You know, maybe just my students want to prepare before they apply to King Saud after they graduate.
Yeah, the English. Most students who are not the Arabic are not their first language. The English is the alternative language. You know, Islamic countries have like people from like Morocco, Egypt, Jordan. They can speak Arabic, so they can come and studying in Arabic. But people from Islamic country who are not Arabic speakers can learn in English as well. Also, there is Arabic language center here in King Saud University. Most students who came to Saudi Arabia, especially I saw this, especially in from African countries, they learn English. I have a master degree students from Cote d'Ivoire. He studied Arabic in 2000 from 2018 to 2020, 2 years, and he's a professional. He's going to write his thesis in Arabic. Can you imagine that? So like 2 years ago, he cannot speak any Arabic, only in Quran. Now he's gonna write his thesis in Arabic. This is impressive in my opinion.
Thank you, Dr. Yahya, for the answer. And since there are about 3 questions in the chat box, but I have to choose only one because we have limited time, I will ask the question from Fatiha Rahman for Dr. Zulham. What is the number of credit hours for subject involving agriculture that students have to take during their study period at Gorontalo University?
Okay, thank you very much for the question from Nur Fatiha Rahman. So the number of credits hours to finish your bachelor's degree here is 144. Yeah, that's the total credits that you must, the minimum total credits that you must finish and 60 credits from that 144, you must take it outside of your department. So 20 credits, you must take some courses outside of your department, but still inside your university. And 40 credits or 2 semesters, you must take outside the university. It could be student exchange program. It could be, what you call it again? Working in industries for, for semester 1 or 2 semesters. It could be research. It could be, now this is the most popular one for, for students who take agricultural education department, is to teach at school, especially in vocational school, for 2 semesters. Yeah, at least. So if you teach for 1 semester, that would be equal to 20 credits, right? So you must take like at least 40 credits outside of the university. We call that, taking classes outside of universities. So there are 8 options for that. It could be working. It could be teaching in vocational schools. It could be doing research, independent research, or it could be doing, voluntary things like, helping people in, who got the natural disasters. It could be also, entrepreneurship, having business for 1 or 2 semesters with your friends, with one team that consists of at least two students, 2 to 6 students. Yeah, that is the requirements for finishing bachelor's degree in Indonesia.
Thank you, Doctor, for the answer. I will end this session. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end part of our forum. I would like to say thanks again to the panelists for the informative and interesting talk, and to audience for active participation. Hopefully this forum will be beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Madam Moderator and our panelists. As I really enjoy forum, as I can conclude, we also can gather as much of information during mobility program as well as online learning like our program today. As our panel said, be creative. We can create our future agriculture on our own using our own creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's watch a video montage presented by Agricultural Science Education Club from University Putra Malaysia, UPM. With the end of the video just now, our program has come to an end. For UPM students, please stay till the end of the program to scan the QR. Of you can turn on the camera so we can take a picture of everyone who participate in this program now.
Okay, I will count. 1, 2, 3. For the next slide. 1, 2, 3. One more. Alright, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Until then, I'm Izahani Binti Abdul Aziz on behalf of Agricultural Science Education Club from University Putra Malaysia, UPM, would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude and thanks to everyone. I also apologize if there is any mistake during the program. Hopefully, this program can benefit all of us today. Take care of yourself, practice physical distance, wash your hands often, and wear a face mask. Together, we take care of us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings and see you again.
Thank you, Dr. Yahya. Thank you, Dr. Malam. Bye-bye.
Terima kasih.
Enjoy.
Okay, terima kasih. Thanks. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Merit ni pakai iCam ke yang Google Form biasa?
Google Form biasa.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Isi dulu nanti kita akan pilih dari
Bye, MC.
barcode yang kat ujung betul? Ya. Betul tu?
Kenapa QR code dia macam ni? Kau ada masuk ah?
Boleh dia kena skip.
Ada iklan ni. Ada iklan lah.
Skip iklan.
Ada iklan lah sikit.
Oh, sikit advertisement.
Dah stop dah sharing.
Share lagi Pan.
Tanika boleh share lagi sampai semua dah buat baru boleh.
Long mu tekan mana kau nak ambil? Sorry.
Nak tekan mana ya?
Sekejap.
Bawah dia tu ada warna hijau, kotak hijau, skip advertisement.
Skip advertisement tu. Skip ads.
Buat.
Lepas tu baru boleh isi nama dan lain-lain.
Boleh ke nak minta share semula slide?
Sekejap.
Share
Jadi kita